Buddhism? What about Mahayana and Theravada Buddhism? In this video, we will explain one of the two major traditions of Buddhism, which is the Mahayana Buddhism. To begin with, what is Mahayana Buddhism? Mahayana Buddhism is one of the two major traditions of Buddhism that is practiced in a variety of forms, especially in China, Tibet, Japan, and Korea. Mahayana Buddhist teaches that we can attain enlightenment in a single lifetime. The symbol of Mahayana is a lotus, which symbolizes purity. Who founded Buddhism? Siddhartha Gautama, also known as Buddha, was a philosopher and a spiritual teacher who lived sometime during the 5th and 6th century BC in India. He is credited for the founding of Buddhism. Buddha is derived from a Sanskrit word Bud, which means the one who is awake. In Christians, we have our Bibles as our sacred texts. Meanwhile, in Mahayana Buddhism, they have the sutras. Sutra is a Sanskrit word meaning thread and synonymous with Pali, the religious language of Buddhism. Originally, the word was used to identify the oral teachings of Buddha or Siddhartha Gautama around 600 BC. One of the examples is the Heart Sutras. As I have explained what is Mahayana Buddhism, who is Siddhartha Gautama or Buddha, including the sutras, Meryl and Cholo will be explaining the doctrines of Mahayana Buddhism. Meryl, Cholo.
Thank you, Shaina. In Mahayana Buddhism, they have the Four Noble Truths, the 8 Pathfold, and 6 Perfections to become a Bodhisattva as their doctrine. Shall we discuss each one? Let's go! There are 4 Noble Truths that exist regarding dukkha. Dukkha is suffering, and suffering is constant. Everything around us causes suffering, even those who bring out pleasure, since they are all impermanent. First is the truth of suffering. The truth of suffering states that we are all in the state of wanting, longing, suffering, pain, and sorrow. We go through life with different emotions, thus it causes us turmoil. This also relates into being reborn and relates into wanting and suffering again. Second is the truth of the cause of suffering. The truth of the cause of suffering states that we suffer because we desire. Desire and needing food causes hunger. Third is the truth of freedom from suffering. The third noble truth states that dukkha can cease if we cease to cling onto desire. We can find nirvana and freedom if we no longer desire people, money, and even the need to hold into life. And lastly, the truth of path of liberation from suffering. He knew that man is fallible, and hence he created the Eightfold Path that teaches the right ways of living life. When followed, we can live with attainment of nirvana. The next doctrine is the Eightfold Path. This is the third circle in the core of teaching Buddha. These teachings are timeless, philosophical, yet practical in the ways of living life. By following the Eightfold Path, one can achieve virtue and enlightenment. First is the right view. The right view or the right understanding states that one can understand that life is full of suffering. We need to embrace the Four Noble Truths and learn from it. It means to understand life, death, and reborn. It means understanding the path towards enlightenment. Second, the right intention. Our intention shapes our thoughts and actions. It signals us to act and react towards the people around us. Buddha teaches that we need to intend the letting go of selfishness or not being selfish. We need to embody mindfulness, less of greed, delusions, and desire. Third, the right action. Right action means not engaging in evil acts, such as killing, hurting sentient beings, stealing, taking drugs, and alcohol. We need to show care and compassion towards others. Fourth, the right speech. The right speech states that it is spoken in the right time, it is spoken in the right speech. This means that one will only speak if the words he or she will use help and care for others. As I have explained the 4 out of the Eightfold Path, Cholo will explain the 4 others of the 6 doctrines to become a Bodhisattva. Cholo.
The 5th is the right livelihood. Right livelihood means not doing harms, ways of earning a living. It means not committing prostitution, selling intoxicants, or selling dead animals. Next is the right effort. The right effort means being able to combine action and intention in order to attain freedom from suffering. It means disregarding desires that cause suffering to oneself and other. Then the right mindfulness. Right mindfulness means being able to practice mindfulness in every moment of one's life. Mindfulness means being aware of the exact moment you are living in. And lastly, the right meditation. The right meditation or concentration is the ability to let the mind focus on one thing, normally your breath. Each perfection develops a particular aspect of a Buddhist character or understanding. Generosity by Dana Paramita. Willingness to give others what they need, whether that be time, possessions, or skills. And the next one is morality by Sila Paramita. Following the Dhamma or Dharma, but in all aspects, but not without thinking. Patience by Kanchi Paramita. Also translated, tolerance or endurance, being patient with others. Enduring hardship and accepting the truth of life, unsatisfactoriness or dukkha. Energy by Virya Paramita. Dedication to attaining Buddhahood. Meditation by Jhana Paramita. Meditation is foundation of wisdom. Inner focus and calm are essential for the deep understanding required for Buddhahood. Wisdom by Prana Paramita. Wisdom consists of understanding that all of existence of emptiness.
And now, what is non-theistic religion? Buddhism is a non-theistic religion or no belief in Creator God, also considered a philosophy and a moral discipline originating in India in the 6th and 5th centuries BCE. The Tibet invasions refers to the peaceful Buddhist country of Tibet was invaded by Communist China in 1949. Since that time, over 1.0 million of Tibetans have been killed, over 6,000 of monasteries have been destroyed, and thousands of Tibetans have been imprisoned. Until 1949, Tibet was an independent Buddhist nation in the Himalayas which had little contact with the rest of the world. The issues of Mahayana Buddhism didn't end there, as the engaged activism occurred. Engaged Buddhism or socially engaged Buddhism denotes the rise of political activism and social service by Buddhist communities and organizations in Asia and the West since 1950s, paralleling a global increase in political involvement by religious groups within Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu traditions. Engaged Buddhists have supported campaigns for conflict resolution, human rights, economic development, national self-determination, and environmental protection. Different historical issues that occurred linked to Mahayana Buddhism. As I explained it to you, I hope you learned something. But wait, there's more. Chelsea will explain the universality and growth of the sects, the development of Buddhism to Zen.
Thank you, Hanalin. Did you know Buddhism have encounters with Taoism? Zen grew from the experience of Shakyamuni Buddha, who realized awakening in the posture of dhyana, Zazen Zen meditation in India in the 5th century BCE. This experience has since been transmitted uninterrupted to master to disciple, creating the Zen lineage. After it had been established in India for almost 1,000 years, the monk Bodhidharma took the teaching to China in the 5th century CE. Under the name Chaan, where it spread widely throughout the country, having found a favorable ground for its growth. In the 13th century, the Japanese monk Dogen, after a stay in China, brought Soto Zen to Japan. The founder of our school, Master Dogen, is also considered one of the great Buddhist philosophers. Zen would influence the whole of Japanese culture very profoundly. In that country, more than 20,000 temples bear witness today to a remarkable diffusion.
As an individual who lives in a society where many differences are, knowledge is the number one step to create a strong bond with each other. Once again, I am Shaina Lair Escobar-Dioriz, and this is a presentation of our group about Mahayana Buddhism. That's it all. Thank you.